Welcome back to the Quadcast, where four college students talk about life, relationships, family, all for you. I'm your host, Carlo.
I'm Naya.
I'm Julie.
I'm MJ.
And for the next 3 weeks, like we said, we'll be diving into each other's stories. Last week, we featured Naya and how she grew into the person that she is today. And today, we will be featuring none other than MJ himself. Clap it up, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys are too kind. I'll give myself a little intro. I am 18, play tennis, and I got recruited to the University of Redlands to play tennis for them.
Okay.
And I am a military child. And I was born in the Bay Area, so that's why I am a 49er fan. And I don't really remember much from the Bay Area. I just remember a lot of traveling because I would visit a lot of my family down south. Yeah, but I remember I moved to Japan for kindergarten. I stayed there from kindergarten to third grade. That's where I started tennis, and I learned like a little bit of Japanese, but I forgot it all. And then yeah, I had my first tennis lesson there. I had my first sexual experience there. I
Had to throw
Wow.
that in there, right? Had to throw that in there.
you
I
can
mean,
edit
like,
that part out.
No,
It's because I'm reading what I have. That's what I have.
like
We're
So,
keeping
I,
that
I
in there.
can, but I won't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, quick question: How old were you exactly when you started playing tennis?
when I started playing tennis, I was 5.
Okay.
I was playing a lot of other sports at the time because my parents wanted to put me in a sport, but I didn't know which sport I wanted to play. And some big differences that I've noticed between Japan and America is everybody there is really clean. Like they keep everything clean. Here, they don't care. They litter. They throw. They poop on the floor. I don't know. And also everybody there's really respectful. Like they respect your things. I never was robbed there. I was the one doing the robbing.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway, any questions about when I lived in Japan?
Well, you kind of like briefly went over it, but like, do you still know Japan to this day? Like Japanese? Sorry, not Japan. Sorry. Do you know Japanese?
Oh no,
Do I know Japan today?
that's going part of the canceled compilation. That's coming. That's coming soon. I'm telling you. After 10, 20 episodes, we're gonna make a compilation of all the times that one of us was canceled.
Julie's gonna be under the most.
No, you are.
Literally
You are.
you.
No, not me. But do I know any Japanese? I know very little, like very, very, very little, like 5, maybe 6 words. That's because everyone in my family watches anime, and Julie watches anime, and yeah.
日本語でわかりますか？
No sé.
No, sir. Bruh answered in Spanish. Oh my God. But at what age did you, like, from what age did you live in Japan? Like, you didn't really go over that. You just said kinder.
I don't really remember, but I think it was from 5 to 8, 5 to 9, one of those two. But I do remember a lot of going to the beaches. That was really fun. I remember I have a funny story. My dad gave me his phone during a party, and then I didn't know what to do with it. So I put it in the cooler with all the water, and I use it as my boat. So we had to get a new phone.
Oh my gosh. How old were you?
Probably 8.
Bruh.
You knew better. Come on now.
Come
No, it's
on
probably
now,
a little
dog.
both. But after Japan, I was blessed enough to move to Hawaii. And that's because my dad got stationed there because he's in the Air Force, or he was in the Air Force. He retired a while back. But in Hawaii, I think I was maybe 9 or 10. And I stayed there till I was in 7th grade. So maybe 14, 13, 15, one of those ages. But that's where I met Carlo. I played him in my first tournament there. And I almost quit because I saw how much bigger he was than I was at the time. I was like, these American kids are something else.
To be fair, I was bigger than everybody else. It was an American thing. It was all Portuguese sausage, bro.
It was a Carlo thing. But that's where I got really serious with tennis. I still remember my first coach. Her name was Coach Jenny in Hawaii, at least. And she moved me to another coach. And that coach, I don't know how, but then I met up with my coach I was with for the rest of the time I was there. His name was Coach David. Shout out Coach David. Can edit that part out too.
Nope, that's staying in too.
Staying in.
Anyway, that really helped me with my tennis. I remember I reached maybe number 3 in the state for 12s, 3 or 4. And then I was climbing up the ranks, 14s, I believe. But I remember I wanted to go pro in tennis because my dad just turned on the TV in our first house there. And I watched Rafa Nadal playing Gael Monfils at the US Open. I don't know what year it was, but it was so like cool just seeing them play, seeing what level they were playing at. And I always wanted to be like, that's what I want to do. And I still believe I can make it. I'm just taking a little longer, but it's fine. And in Hawaii, I was really reckless. I didn't think a lot.
Reckless.
Yeah.
I can confirm. I grew up with the kid.
I got into a lot of trouble, but not like because I was like a bad kid. I would just not think things through. Like I would never tell my parents when I had a girlfriend. I would like just not sneak out, but I would just hang out with a lot of people that I shouldn't have been hanging out with, I think. But on the flip side, I was really athletic. So I played football there and I did track.
You did track?
Yeah. I was a
I never
beast.
did that.
I remember 6th grade, all the races I ran, I got first place. Like I think I did the 800, I got first in that. I think I did the 4x100, my team got first in that. I think that's all I ran, but like, I don't know, we won. That's all that mattered.
Wow.
Hawaii is where I met this one person that was the first time I felt love for a person. I'm not going to name drop, but I did end up getting with them later on after I moved, which is Carla knows. But I remember a lot of times where I could have made a move, I didn't. So I used that to better off myself with Julie.
Damn, so
Yeah.
you're saying Julie's just a second option, dog?
Wow.
No, I'm saying I
Oh.
learned my
Yo,
mistakes.
he did not say that at all.
I was
gotta
saying I
back him up
learned
there.
from my mistakes from this person and
You
fixed it.
applied that to our relationship.
So are you
Yes.
saying that other person was just a mistake?
Oh,
Oh, dang.
I can't escape any allegation, bro. No. But yeah, I think that's it. Any questions about
How did
my Hawaii life?
so why did you move?
My dad retired in Hawaii. He reached 20 years in the Air Force, so he wanted to retire. And then my mom was like, we should retire in California. That's where all my family is. And I did not want to move because I loved Hawaii. I love the beaches. I loved all the food. I love the people.
I didn't want you to either, bro. I remember when you told me, I got hella sad.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember we were at one of our teammates' houses, right?
yeah.
After we
Mhm.
won like the local JTT tournament.
Yep.
And so the team was gonna go to nationals, and so we celebrated at one of our teammates' houses afterwards. And then him and his family dropped the news. And I remember, I think a couple people started to tear up, and I was like, at the moment, I was like, "Bro, what? You're leaving?" And then I think I just went to the pool, and it didn't click in my head until afterwards.
I mean, to be fair,
Bro said, "Oh, you're leaving?"
But man, Hawaii
What
was super fun.
what was your favorite food place?
There's so much places. Like for dessert or like just in general.
Like in general. Like your go-to spot in Hawaii.
A lot of go-to spots, but one was obviously Zippy's. Another was for some reason where I used to practice, Makiki District Park. Every other day, I forgot the days, but they would have like a little convention outside of the church. So I would just go there and eat after practice. And they would sell like crepes, they would sell like,
It was
burgers
that
and
little
stuff
They
like
like
farmers market
yeah,
outside of the
it was
church,
they
right?
cool.
still got it going on
Yeah, they
today.
still have that going now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you come back for our wedding, we'll take you down there too.
that would be like a full circle moment right there.
Yep. Yep. We'll take you to go visit Coach David too.
Yes, please. I need to see him. I miss him so much. And what else?
I have a
Trying to
selfish
remember.
question. I have a
Yes.
selfish question. What is your favorite memory of me and you while you were here in Hawaii?
Favorite memory, you and me. There's a lot. I'll do five. What my first one was my I think my fifth. It's like top three in the five.
Okay. Okay.
Is when I was like beating you in the match, and then you're like, "Dad, give me my coconut water." And in my mind, I was like, "Oh, fuck! There goes my chance, bro." And sure enough, I didn't get another game after that. I think I only got one game after that, and that was in the second.
My
Remember when you
coconut
asked
water,
me,
man.
you said, "Can't get my coconut water." I was like, "That's it. It's a wrap, bro."
Oh my god, that's funny.
Another one was when we were all in the airport getting ready to go. And I think it was either Maui or the Big Island.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've been to most of the islands. I went to Maui, the Big Island. Forgot the rest, bro. The M1, Molokai. I think I went to that one. And obviously Oahu. That's where I lived. Yeah. But my favorite dessert place was this Manapua place. They had all the different Manapuas you can imagine. I hope they're open. And
Which
also
one are you talking
Matsuma.
about?
I don't remember the name, but I remember it was under I think it was either under the Like or somewhere near
Oh,
it.
this is the one you were talking about. Right. I remember this place. Yeah.
Mhm. They had all the best Manapuas.
I don't know that they're open anymore. I might be wrong.
Hope they're
COVID
open.
might have shut that one down too.
I wouldn't be surprised. They were like
How
a whole.
did sorry,
Dang good.
how did all of this moving around like affect you? Well, I know the answer, but I don't want you to talk about it.
All this moving around, it hit me when I moved to California. That was when I felt like everything was just going bad because I missed all of my friends and I feel like I didn't fit in here. So I felt like, I think I was just really sad a lot. And then I think I did slip into like depression. There's times I just didn't want to like leave my room. I would rather like just stay in my room and like text my friends all day, try to call them instead of go out and practice, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember for the
Mm.
first like few months after you left, you would text me every now and then, just like asking for updates on what it was like here in Hawaii.
Yeah. Because I had a group chat with all of the people in Coach David's group,
Mm.
and we would text in that every day. And it was really active. And whenever it was slow, that's when I would text like you or like other people privately. But yeah, it was really hard moving on. Not moving on, but like getting used to California. And I remember it was the same thing when I moved from Japan to Hawaii. But since I was like younger, I feel like I was more easily distracted. 'Cause I remember when I moved to Hawaii, I thought I would like get burned down by the volcanoes.
Oh my God.
Bruh.
Remember, I kept saying, I don't want to move there. The volcano is going to explode and we're all going to die. And my mom and dad, instead of reassuring me, they're like, yeah, it says here they're going to blow up in like a couple of years. So maybe it'll be when we're there. And I was like,
No.
That's funny. There's not even an active volcano on Oahu.
I didn't know that.
I remember when I know it's kind of off topic, but when I visited Hawaii, I was also like around the age of 8 or 9. So me and MJ like to think that like, what if we saw each other?
Mm.
That would be
That
pretty
would
cool.
have been cool. Yeah.
Me and Naya have a similar thing where, like, for some reason, at different points in our lives, we actually lived within like a block of each other, or like we would
Oh,
be in areas within a block of each other. Like, I went to school literally like 2 blocks down from where she lived, and we
wow.
always like we're like, I wonder if we met when we were younger. I just don't remember.
Yeah. Because I think I might have met her, but I don't know. I might just be saying that, but I was a really friendly kid. So whenever I saw
You
someone my
were.
age, whenever I saw someone my age, I would go up and talk to them.
You know what I remember thinking when I first met you at one of the tournaments?
What?
I was like, finally, another Filipino kid. Holy crap.
I know,
Dude,
because
when we were like little kids playing like green dot ball, there was like no other Filipino kids for some reason.
yeah, they were all either like a different Asian or they were
Yeah.
like white. That was it.
Yep. 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 I remember.
Yeah. I forgot to say, in Japan, we got this really big house. It was like a mansion, dude. I kind of want to go back to the house. On all the places I lived, that was the best house I lived in. There's like a little bat cave in them. It was just dope. And on that note, I think I talked about everything in Hawaii.
I think you can move along your story. Moving to California.
So I moved to California in the middle of 7th grade. So I used that to my advantage when I was in Hawaii. So I just didn't do any more schoolwork. And I remember I was supposed to move one of the days, but I didn't. So I went to school that day and I had 3 projects due. I was like, oh, I didn't do it because I was too busy moving. And like, oh, that's fine. But in actuality, I had another 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
I just didn't want to
Oh
do work.
no. That sounds like such an MJ thing to do.
It really is. Yeah. Um, but moving to California in the middle of 7th grade was kind of hard because during 7th grade, it was really weird for me because in 6th grade, I knew everybody because we all grew up with each other. And it was a small school, so I was friends with everyone. Everyone was friends with me and type of stuff. But when I went to middle school, all of my friends moved from Hawaii, or the very few that were there, they didn't go to the same middle school. Or I had a best friend that went to that same school, but he got really, really popular. So I couldn't like hang out with him anymore.
Aw.
I was like, damn. And then funny enough, one of the kids that like everybody picked on in 6th grade ended up becoming my best friend in 7th grade. And then when he moved, that's when I was like, damn, I didn't really want to go to school anymore because I didn't know anybody. But I kind of carry that same mindset when I moved to California. That I didn't really want to just talk to anybody, which is bad. But I kind of fixed it because I had my cousin and she kind of let me hang out with her. And yeah, I was lucky enough to meet one of my best friends at a tennis tournament as well. And he helped me get through like depression and stuff too. I don't think he knows that, but shout out him. And then in 9th grade, I got this one like gym class with a lot of the people I hung out with the rest of high school. So, and then we all got really close, and then that's when COVID hit. And then I felt like I probably wouldn't see them again, or everybody would be different because I didn't respond to them in like group chats. And I kind of had my own tennis friends that I was more close with because we would all go out and hit, stuff like that. And then I even in 10th grade, I switched schools to do a different online program. But then when we came back from COVID, that's when I kind of changed how I would dress. I changed a lot of other things about me because I wanted a little glow up. And that's like middle of 11th grade. That's when I met Julie. And if you saw our first video, you would know what I thought of her back then.
Thought I was emo.
Yeah.
I
That
knew
too.
love with an emo girl.
She sings that a lot to me sometimes. I'll
No,
hug
I
her.
don't.
No, I remember in like during lunch, sometimes I would hug you and you're like, I fell in love with an emo girl. And I'm like, I would just nod. I'm like, okay. But other than my personal life for tennis, me and my friend, his name, yeah, I'll drop his name. His name is Tyler Nguyen. And we were really, really good doubles. We got to #1 in the nation. And we were invited to this thing. It was called the Bryan Brothers Doubles Race. So if you were #1 in your category or in your division, you would be invited to go during Indian Wells to a ceremony, and you would be able to hit with Bryan Brothers, all these other like top players. And that's what we were working towards. And then that's when COVID hit. So they shut that all down. And then he moved to Arizona. So I never really got to play doubles again with him in the tournament. And he recently committed to I don't know the name, but it's a college in Pennsylvania. I'm really proud of him, Tyler. And after he moved, I ended up playing doubles with my best friend, and we did pretty good. Like we won a couple things. We beat people we shouldn't have beaten, and yeah, looking back on like my life with my life, I'm like, but like just looking back, it was pretty cool. Just hanging out with a lot of the same people every day and just growing with them, seeing how we change now and stuff like that. But that's all I wrote down. So is there any questions about my California life?
Did your relationship change like within your immediate family? Like amidst all the moving and stuff?
Like my brother and my parents?
Yeah.
I felt like when we were younger, me and my brother would fight a lot just because I never liked him when we were younger. I'm gonna lie.
Dang.
We would always
I
like
can
fight.
confirm. I can confirm. He was always mad at AJ for some odd reason.
And whenever we would play doubles together, I would get so mad at him for every mistake.
I would ask him after a match. I'd be like, "Hey, how'd it go?" And MJ would just immediately be like, "AJ messed us up. It's all AJ's fault."
Yeah.
It was always AJ's fault.
Yeah, now it's the opposite. It's my bad.
Yeah.
And then AJ's like, "Yeah, I can't believe we lost that. It was all your fault." I'm like, "Okay." But I feel like us always moving and stuff, we became really close because we didn't really spend a lot of time together until we got to California. Because my dad would either have like long hours, or my mom would have long hours, or AJ and I would be at practice for a while. So whenever we did get family time, like all four of us, I would really like enjoy it. Like whenever all four of us would go out to the tennis court and hit, I really cherish those moments, especially when I would beat AJ. Those felt good. And in Hawaii, that's when we got my dog. He lived a good life. He passed away a couple months ago.
Mako.
Yeah, his name was Mako. Sometimes, like I'll still think he's here. Kind of weird. Like I'll save food, and I'm like, "Oh, this is from Mako," and then I'll realize, like, "Oh shoot."
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll throw away that food. But anyway, any other questions?
How are you just gonna anyway out of that?
Because I feel the tears, bro. I cannot let them come out. They're live.
Oh, it's okay.
Naya's been quiet. Does she have any questions for MJ?
Yeah,
I'm
Naya.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to like cook right now. I'm trying to cook. trying to let it marinate. How about you, Carlo? Do you have any questions about after he moved from Hawaii? Because I don't know, you guys are close, and then he moved, and I know you guys like kept in touch every now and then. So
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to tennis, how did the move impact your game? You know, because there's a lot of like athletes who are probably also in a military family who may be in the middle of a move, or maybe transitioning, or may relate to you in that sense. So how did it impact your game?
Moving from Hawaii to California was a really big shock because I was high enough ranked in Hawaii to play like the like national level tournaments for the team. So I would us and like zonos, for example, there's the top 6 boys and top 6 girls. We would travel to a place and we would play other states that have the top 6 girls, top 6 boys, or regions. Like we would play SoCal, and then we always knew SoCal was the best team. So I knew moving to SoCal that would help my game, but I was just kind of like scared that I wouldn't be able to catch up, because whenever I did play those events, I would never do well, because I feel like I was either just not serious isn't the right word, but like I didn't really believe in myself, I guess, just because they showed different levels of intensity, and then I would just try to like learn from them and bring that back to Hawaii. So when I moved from Hawaii to California, and I saw that that intensity was in every single tournament, I felt like I adjusted myself to that level, and I had to do I had to up my workload, I guess. And yeah, just the culture shock is massive.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids who grow up in Hawaii think they're gonna be stuck here forever. And you kind of like were able to move halfway through, pre-K to 12.
hmm
So what was the transition like for school? Because I know schooling up there is kind of different than here too.
I remember when I moved from Japan to Hawaii. I know that wasn't the question, but I just remember everyone knew like the Japanese were really smart. So when I moved there, they thought I was gonna be like the smartest in the class. So whenever I got a question wrong, they're like, "Oh, that's the Japanese teaching for you," and I'm like, "Bro, I just wasn't paying attention." And I think since I grew up there, and I don't know, I just felt like I was more advanced, so I would just kind of slack off in other classes. And then Hawaii's classes felt really easy. I don't know if that was just me, but they felt pretty easy, and I could just like not go to school, or I would just wouldn't pay attention for a couple classes. I would still be able to know what's going
Did
on.
you went to school on base, right?
Yeah, on base. And then moving, I noticed that in California, they do things really quick. Like they only give you a week to grasp something, and they'll move on. They'll give you a test, and boom, same thing next week, new thing, test, and then 3 4 weeks go by, then it's the unit test, and I was like, bro, I wasn't used to that because in Hawaii, we would have a lot of random holidays, and like
Yep.
we wouldn't have
Yep.
full 5 days like throughout the school year. We would have like 4 days, 3 days.
Yep.
Some days it would be 2 days off. I mean, 2 days we
There's
would go to school.
there's this ongoing joke that there's more holidays here than there are school days.
Yeah,
That's funny.
and then in Hawaii there was I did, I don't know, traditional, but when I moved to California, it's year round. So I hated how we didn't have like the same amount of numbers or days off. That really pissed me off.
Mm.
And yeah, is there any other questions?
I know you kind of briefly talked about this like earlier, right? But like because of like the amount of moving that you went through, how did it affect your like interpersonal relationships when it came to like friends, making friends, or like yeah, like making new friends kind of thing? And like or like
Yeah.
in the last couple of in the last couple of years, um are there still signs of you like showing like a disconnect because you think that you're gonna be moving like going to college now, so like what was it all for kind of thing? Yeah.
I think the going to college thing, since I'm really used to moving, I don't know. I feel like I'm taking a different approach. And it's not even on purpose. It's just I feel like that's what's happening. Because before, when we move, I would try to spend every day with the people I knew that I would miss the most. But now, I didn't really spend too much time away or with like my school friends, other than Julie, and that's because I think I'm gonna miss her the most. But
Um, um,
yeah. But with the making friends thing, I remember there's a big. Remember when like saying "oof" was a thing
yep.
in Roblox? When I first moved to California, someone made like a big mistake. I was like, "Oof!" I started laughing, and everybody just looked at me like this. I was like, "Oh, is that not? Do you guys not know what that means?" And then they're like, "Did this guy just say oof?" And I was like, "Damn." And then yeah, I had to like change the way I talked when I moved to Hawaii. I mean, moved to California, because I had like I had a small accent, the pigeon accent, and I changed it and I copied the California accent, which is kind of easy.
And you pull off the white girl accent, the white girl California accent.
Yeah, but I'm gonna sound like really zesty because they talk super slow. No hate, it's just that's what you guys do.
You guys?
You
Ooh.
girls.
What if they don't identify as girls?
Yeah, what if are you assuming their gender? Are you assuming their pronouns?
That's only because Naya said, "Can you do a white girl accent?"
Okay, but Naya's funny. So. I'm kidding. I love you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Jokes. It's jokes. I'm sorry. Do you have green shorts on? Did I just see him with green shorts on? Is that what I just saw right
You're a
now?
mean one.
Mr. Grinch.
Not only do you just flame me, you're gonna roast my outfit too. Like,
It's because
bro,
you look like a Christmas tree.
I came from practice, straight from practice, and I only had time to throw on the For You sweater,
Bro,
but I didn't change my shorts because
your,
when
your
we're
shorts be
talking,
looking the same as a tennis ball. Bro, your shorts like this.
I just want to see the fit then or something. Here,
Yeah, show
let's-
them fit.
here you go, guys. Oh, wait, it's like the center stage thing. I
I
think
don't think you're helping your case.
yeah. This is the short color.
Dude,
Bro.
no one needs to see it like that.
Those are the same, bro. Julie, have you seen pictures of how MJ used to dress when he played tennis here?
Not really.
Oh, so she's never seen the high socks with the neon shorts,
She's
with the
never
pink
seen
shirt, and
the
like
neon beige.
red shoes, and like bro wore
remember-
like 5 different colors in one outfit.
Oh
Mhm.
Didn't you
gosh.
say
I-
you used to wear like this one Batman shirt or something like that?
Yeah,
Yes, he
it
wore
was a
that Batman shirt
neon
every
yellow.
tournament.
It was a neon yellow, like highlighted yellow, with a black Batman mark right on the chest.
Every
And I would
tournament.
match that with pink shorts, green shorts. I would just try to hit every color on the rainbow. That was my goal. Because there's so much
That
rainbows
says
in
a
Hawaii.
lot.
He did not care, dude. Like he did not care.
I did not.
I think that really transpired with your um your outfit.
Bro,
Yeah.
his thing, he was known for the high socks, like the kind of socks that would go above his calves, like soccer socks.
No, they would go
Wow.
past my knees some days.
Jeez.
God
Like
damn
I remember
it.
I wore compression socks because towards the end of or before I left Hawaii, I was suffering. I had like a stress fracture in I
Mm.
think my right toe, not my right foot, and I didn't know it was a stress fracture. I thought it was just like pain.
No
So I didn't
offense.
get it.
I always thought it was because of eczema.
Yeah, me too. That's not the same type of pain, but like
No, I know, but I always thought it was because you were trying to cover up your eczema. Or
oh,
like,
the high socks.
yeah.
No, it's just because that's what my dad would buy, and I'm like, okay, that's
Oh.
what socks we have. No, but like, I still do have eczema. It is what it is. I
Mhm.
don't know what to say about it.
I remember we used to relate on that because I used to struggle with eczema too. And my me and your parents would talk, oh, what kind of cream is he on? What kind of ointment is he
Yeah,
on?
they would like, oh, your son's eczema is clearing up. What did he use? I'll try it for mine.
Bro,
And then
deadass.
put it
That was
back.
they used to talk about that all the time, every tournament. It's like, oh, his skin looks better. What are you guys doing?
I remember my mom would tell everybody that AJ would wear socks on his hands while he sleeps.
So that he wouldn't scratch, right? Right.
Yep.
I remember this, yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Did
middle
your
of
mom used to
matches,
do
me
that?
and you would like just bend over and to just both start scratching.
Like during points.
Yeah. Just
I remember that.
We're damn it. This episode is sponsored by us. For You Apparel is our clothing brand designed for the people who do everything they do for that one special person. Could be your family, could be your significant other, anybody. That's foryouapparel.patternbyetsy.com and use promo code QUAD10 for 10% off your order. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Taking in consideration that you have just graduated, you are now 18, you are going to college next year, you have your driver's license, you're becoming a full-fledged young adult. We got a deeper question for you here. What are some things that you want to take with you from your upbringing into adulthood? Or what are some things that you don't want to bring with you from your upbringing into adulthood? Because obviously, me and I are a year older, and we can definitely relate how there are some things from our upbringing that we kind of had to get over and heal from growing up. We've talked about it in past episodes. So for you, like getting to hear different perspectives, what are your thoughts on going into adulthood and, what you want to leave behind and what you want to bring with you?
Um, I'll do what I want to leave behind, and it's definitely comparisons. And thing is with comparisons, it can start off as like, oh, look how they're doing. What can I do to catch up to them? Like that could be seen as a positive thing. But when it's like kind of just drilled into you about how everyone else is doing and how you'll start to think, that's what I started thinking. Like I'm really far behind with my competition. I'm not gonna make it to where they are, stuff like that. And that was really like detrimental. I still believe I struggle with that a lot, but that's definitely something I want to leave behind. And just because being compared to other people, it's tough because they have different situations going on with them. And yeah, that's about it. Another thing though that I want to leave behind is that like suppressing my emotions, because I feel like during my upbringing I was always told that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I was a very like emotional person, but I don't know what happened when it changed, but I just kind of stopped showing a lot of like emotions that were negative, like off the court. I mean, like I wouldn't really show as much like anger or like sadness, until the only time I would show is if suppressed it so much that I couldn't hold it anymore, and then I would just like pop, and that was really bad because I would I would feel it coming and I couldn't like hold it down anymore, stuff like that.
Do you think that this was due to like tennis and how much you've been like working on your tennis game, that you've learned to kind of suppress your emotions, and also like that comparison thing between you and other tennis players, or was this also something that you experienced outside of tennis?
I think it started off with tennis, and then as I used those same practices throughout my life, it became I had to deal with it outside of tennis. Like, um, yeah, I, I lost my train of thought.
You're
I
good.
didn't say.
You're good. I mean, we talked about this a little bit off camera, but I relate to you. We grew up for the first like half of our lives, we grew up together. Um, and so like, would you say half? Yeah, I'd say half, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say half. The first like somewhat half of our lives, we kind of grew up together, and we have gone through a lot of the same things. And so I definitely relate to you in that sense, where a lot of times I notice that I will suppress emotions as well. And I think that's also partially due to the way that we're trained um, as an athlete in tennis. Um,
As an athlete.
Always as an athlete.
so my question to you now is, um, what are some ways that you feel as though you can change your behavior to better suit um, mitigating unhealthy habits like that?
Um, I guess to do that, I'd have to like point out my negative habits, like bad habits, and a lot of the things I do. One of the most negative things I realized is that I would just distract myself and like get my mind off of it. And that could just be me like turning on my music to me like playing with something. It'll be that, and then it'll start. That's how I'll start coping with other negative or other bad things in my life. And what was the question again?
It didn't marinate, guys.
It over marinated.
Yeah. So as an athlete, um,
As an
As an
athlete.
athlete,
merch coming soon, guys. Trust me, it's on its way. We hear you. When it's coming. It's on its way. We hear nobody because nobody's been saying that, but we want it.
we're gonna be repping as an athlete.
Yeah, I'm telling you, in 5 episodes, I will hopefully have it. Me and MJ will both have it. Hopefully, we'll have like as an athlete like hoodies, maybe.
I'm gonna
You
buy
gotta
it
hook-
and I'm gonna put a cross on it. I'm gonna go, no, not as an athlete.
we should make one as like as an athlete and as a non-athlete. You know.
Yeah.
But anyways, as an athlete,
Yeah, I mean, like as an athlete. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We're all kind of brain dead right now.
As it's someone who plays a sport.
So an athlete.
As someone who plays tennis, as a tennis player, how do you feel as though those negative habits have affected you on court?
On court, like if I know that this affected me because during one of my tournaments, I was dealing with something that came up that was really, really negative. And then my mom took me to that tournament, and I remember like playing really bad. I couldn't stop thinking about that bad thing. And I remember it just got so bad to the point where I just wanted to get off the court. And then I started blaming that thing for my loss when really it's kind of on me. Like I just started kind of tanking. I didn't. Did you guys hear that?
Bro, what was that? I don't even
was
know what that
wild.
was.
It was like in my throat. I don't know. That's what she said.
Oh my
But
God.
anyway,
What?
What?
Never mind. I said
Okay.
through God, but it's okay.
I was getting in that thing too. The emotions, guys. Take that face
Oh.
off. Come on, out of the gutter. But what?
No. Continue. As an athlete.
I actually didn't say that, but when I was dealing with those emotions, those really negative emotions, I just didn't deal with it correctly because on court, that was like my worst tournament. I didn't get any wins. I basically did waste that money. And I guess getting so much negative reinforcement from people I would look up to, that would also really be bad because I would repeat that same stuff to myself over and over again. And that would make me feel, more mad at myself for not doing better. And a lot of the phrases were, they're negative. So I would always take it to heart instead of just letting it be what it is. It's just a phrase. But remember, like I would always try to suppress those feelings, and it would always come out at the worst times. And those times would be, either on court during a match, or it would be when I'm like just out and about, and then I'll start thinking about something, and then I can't stop myself because I've already suppressed it so much that it'll burst.
So now we've talked about some of the negative aspects that you don't want to take with you into adulthood? So, what are some things that you do want to take with you into adulthood, considering how you grew up?
Some of the positive things I do want to take into my adulthood. Whoa, adulthood. I don't know what I said.
Dude, dude.
One of the things I want to take into my adulthood is being very friendly to everybody because you don't know what people are going through. That's been my like the golden rule is to treat others how you want to be treated, and I do that. And that's kind of my number one rule. Another one of my rules that I want to bring into adulthood is um to be on time because I suck with being on time. My time management is very bad, so I'm gonna work on that, especially in college. Um, Another thing is to feel my emotions more, try to connect with it, connect with myself, and I guess to show more emotion as well, other than the the, the normal one I show. I don't know, but is there what else? What are some suggestions that I should bring into my adulthood?
I mean, it's really up to you, like what morals and lessons you grew up with, and yeah, I don't know. It's, I mean, we could sit here and tell you a bunch and tell you all these things, but it's really all up to you and how you want to
Oh,
take
that's
them.
another thing. I gotta take charge of my
Yeah.
own
There you go.
decisions.
There you go.
There you go.
There we
Okay,
go.
I was about to say to anyone here who's afraid of adulting, anyone who's listening to this, or because the whole point of this podcast in general is to help young adults around our age who are going through the same thing figure this stuff out, right? And so, to anyone listening who is afraid of growing up and is afraid of the things that come with that, there's a lot of healing involved, and there's a lot of um it's not just about the whole adulting, like, there's bills to pay and there's like classes to take and people to see and like people to date and like all these things of aspects of adulting and freedom that comes with it, but also parts of it where it's like as an adult, not as an athlete, as an adult, um there are things that you need to heal from and things that you need to also take with you from your childhood, because you're getting a whole new level of freedom at this point in your life, and it's about learning how to manage that. And that's essentially what we're all trying to do, including MJ.
And I think this is a great time to wrap it up. Does MJ, do you want to, note any last things for anyone out there who might be in a similar situation as you or are going through the same things that you're going through?
To my military families out there, thank you for your service. Um, and you just got to get through the moving stuff. It's gonna happen. Can't avoid it. To the athletes, as an athlete, what I could say is focus on yourself mainly. That's what I try to do more now. Focus on yourself, not what others think, and try to use as much tools as possible. Like for me, I'm using a lot of like YouTube videos to meditate, and like I'll search up just random top professional players and try to see what they're doing. I'll try to copy them, and then go to the gym as an athlete. Gotta stay in shape. And I need to do this as well. I need to get a better diet, but I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I love my sweets and I hate vegetables. Um, yeah.
MJ, I think that is totally fine. I love sweets too. But I was also a pescatarian for like 8 years and I didn't eat any meat. except for fish. So it's totally fine.
I guess some big highlights in my life is that I am a two-time CIF champion, which if you don't know what that is, it's for tennis. That means I won. I'm the best player, I guess, in that division out of all the high school players in our region. I've won a lot of tennis tournaments. I have a really amazing girlfriend, and I got recruited to play at Redlands because of my hard work and dedication to tennis. And I I was really focused with going to the gym and trying to beef myself up, which led to me getting some model offers, and that really made me feel better about myself because I got more confidence from that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a model now, like, you know. And I got some sponsorships out of tennis, which helped my family with cutting costs, and it helped me because I liked the brand. I still use that same brand, and yeah, shoot for the moon, guys.
Thank you so much, MJ, for sharing your life story, your accomplishments, and leaving a great message for those who are in your situation or might be going through something similar. Um, for the viewers, thank you guys so much for watching or listening. And if you don't already know, we are still posting twice a week from now on. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please let us know what you want to hear next in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe and get your For You apparel in the link below. Tune in on Wednesdays and Sundays for our latest content. And remember, we do it for you. Thanks, everyone.